All right, everybody, Greg Poole here at Bowjunky Media, bowjunkymedia.com. We are at the 2020 IBO first leg of the Triple Crown. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by AAE, Arizona Archery Enterprises. We are here in Pipestem, West Virginia. I am joined by PSE Pro staffer and friend of the program, Jack Wallace, who I'm sure would rather not be sitting behind the desk with me, but here we are. And by the way, happy birthday yesterday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. No, there's no doubt if one of your pro friends are sitting here commentating, he has not had a good weekend, but I'm happy to be out here anyway.
There we go.
Game.
That's right. So our first class up here is new to exposure at this level. This is our pro hunters, and coming into this, we had Jonathan Smith at a 396, Timothy McWilliams at a 392, Justin Ertl at a 386, and Chris Dake a 384, along with John Sailing also at a 384. Now, these guys, of course, as you can see now, we have 3 arrow colors out there, along with a pro representative in Darren Christianberry, and an 8 for Jonathan Smith. And basically, Jonathan Smith has an 8, so that's going to be a 404. And so basically, and a 12 for Timothy McWilliams. That's what you need to do right there to get going.
Absolutely, inside out. This is a new game and a new set of rules for the IBO. They've never had shoot-offs before, so now they have, shoot-downs for the top 5 scores. They're going to come out here. They're going to shoot off. All the rules are the same, except if they're fortunate enough to shoot an 11 ring that's inside out, then they're going to get another bonus point, so it's going to be a 12, and that's what he did.
Looks like Justin Ertl had a little bit of a mishap on that Wolverine out there for a 0. That's probably not optimal to get started, Jack.
No, and it is very windy out here. A lot of people are not going to be able to notice, but it's gusting at times. So the guys were allowed to ask for a volunteer from the crowd or a friend or whatnot to hold their umbrella. And that's one thing I feel bad for John. John is out here, and they're scoring his arrow on the wolf right now. He has no one holding his umbrella, and that's going to make it a little rough on him.
There we go. So let's go to the Bowjunky leaderboard and see how things washed out on the Pro Hunter after end number 1. All right, everybody, Greg Poole here at Bowjunky Media. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by AAE. Once again, we are here at the 2020 first leg of the IBO Triple Crown in Pipestem. I'm joined by Jack Wallace. These pro hunter guys, Jack, you've been in these situations a lot, not as a pro hunter, but what sort of nerves do you think these guys are facing, knowing that they're actually in a recorded, producible, televised?
For a lot of these guys, they are definitely puckered right now, and that's okay. That's great. That's why we're out here. We're out here to have those feelings and enjoy them. For a lot of these guys, though, they haven't been watched by so many people, and they haven't been recorded. And this is a new set of rules. It's a new set of format. They're out there right now. They basically have a minute and a half to walk up to that stake, judge it, get on target and make their shot, even with this wind. So there's definitely some nerves happening.
No question, and that's part of this new IBO process. I know that for a lot of you watching, this shoot-off format is new to the IBO this year. This was not the first selection for where we were going to do it, but because of the internet issues due to the storm, we had to relocate. So it was great that Pipestem and Larry Cade and them were able to relocate us real quick and get this done. So let's see what we got going on down here.
We have an 11 for Chris Dake.
An 11.
That's a good shot on that wolf.
Dake. So that's a 403 for Chris Dake. Ertl has a 10.
Yeah, that was a good comeback after his mishap on the Wolverine. It's good to come back strong, keep it in the 10 ring on
and
the follow-up shot.
For those of you out there that see Darren Christianberry, that is the shooter representative, and he is there to just basically verify. And McWilliams with a 5, 409. He had moved himself up into tied for the lead with that bonus 12, but that 5 there is going to hurt a little bit. But Darren Christianberry's sole purpose out there is, from a shooter's perspective, just to verify. And Smith has a 10, so that's going to put him at 414. Just basically, and just to make sure that there's a shooter out there, so that there's no questions. And Sailing with a 10. 399. All right, let's go to the Bowjunky leaderboard and check it out. All right, everybody, Greg Poole here at Bowjunky Media. We're back at the first leg of the Triple Crown here in Pipestem, West Virginia at the IBO. We are on arrow number 3 in the Pro Hunter. I'm joined by PSC Pro staffer Jack Wallace. I'm looking forward to talking to the winner out here, because I can only imagine some of the feelings that these guys are going through shooting in this class, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're on Bowjunky.
I like to have a Fitbit watch band on each one of them right now, just to see what the heart rate's doing. That's something the wife and I and my sister have all just been tinkering with and playing with lately, and it's interesting just watching what it does in certain games. You know, when you're judging, when you're shooting, when you're aiming at a Vegas face,
Sure.
all that stuff is fun to experiment with. So I'm sure that they're excited, they're a little pumped, and they should be. They got to be happy to be out here.
Absolutely, and I think, as with anything, as you would know, this kind of pressure and these kinds of emotions, it's going to make the best archers rise to the top.
Yeah, like right now, we're seeing the same thing with this Wolverine. That's the target that seems to be giving people the most fits. It's causing letdowns, causing misses, and our last shooter's up to draw now.
Looks like a little left there, but at least he got foam on that. All right,
Yeah.
let's see what Ryan Bass, Larry Cade, and the crew out there come up with. Chris Dake has a 5. That's going to put him at a 408. And these conditions, even though this Pro Hunter class, for those of you wondering, let's see here, Sailing with an 11.
That's a good shot,
Yes,
especially
it is.
at his rough start. He 5'd his first target, tough shot on the wolf, so that's a good comeback.
Absolutely, and for those wondering, this class shoots a 45-yard max, so once they're done, Brian doing some math out there.
Yeah, there should be some
Smith has a 5.
There should be some shuffling of the stakes when these guys are done and they bring out the senior pros, the
Yep.
lady pros, and the PMR guys.
Absolutely, and by shuffling, we mean scooting back.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
Williams has an 8. 417. So once again, we have Jonathan Smith and Mick Williams are a couple points apart for the lead up there. Justin Ertl has a 10.
2 points can definitely change quick out here with the wind and with the new 12 ring inside out rule in effect. Things can happen in a hurry.
Absolutely. Let's go to the leaderboard and see how things are washing out. All right, everybody, Greg Poole here at Bowjunky Media. I'm joined by Jack Wallace. This weekend's coverage is brought to you by AAE, Arizona Archery Enterprises. We are at the first ever Pro Hunter shoot-off here at the IBO. Jack, these guys got to be feeling a lot of excitement right now.
Absolutely. The class just kept gaining steam and getting more and more numbers, and they had enough that they pulled together, and they're out here in the shoot-offs now. They are considered a pro class, and that's great. You know, their equipment is obviously going to be a little different than what you're going to see the senior pros, lady pros, and the men's pros out here shooting. They have to shoot a fixed pin sight, I believe, and then shorter stabilizers, and there's certain rules that they have to abide by. And a little 5 yards, like you said earlier, 5 yards shorter on their max distance. So it's a class that's gaining in popularity quickly.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here, Jack. Of all the classes at any archery event in the entire country, one would think that the pins class would have the most numbers considering the number of hunters, but you know, at this point we haven't quite transitioned the hunters into the target community. But it's good to see this, because most of our hunting rigs look just like these rigs.
Yeah, and it's neat to see, because when I was a little kid, I was shooting the IBO, and I mean, this is a long time ago. When you had the fixed pin class, the MBR, there were 750 guys in that one class. The MBO guys, they were the same, 750. We had 1,500 people between two classes back then. So it's cool to see it picking up some steam.
Absolutely. And you know, I see a lot of smiles out there. Obviously, a lot of shaking heads, but you know, that is the nature of the beast, especially in a shoot down in the wind. You would know. McWilliams has a 10. 427 for Timothy McWilliams. And plus, for the people at home watching, they've not had a chance to watch these folks shoot. Smith with an 8. So we now have a tie for first between Jonathan Smith and Timothy McWilliams at 427.
We got an 11 on that Wolverine, and that is a great shot on that target. That's the highest score we've had come off of him yet.
Absolutely, and of course you can hear the pros and the spectators back there.
They're impressed with that, giving him some love.
Right, as they should. He earned it, no doubt. But it's great for Dake has a 10. It's going to put him at 418. But it's great for not only these archers' families, but other archers at home that shoot similar equipment to be like, wow, that's my class. Ertl has a 10. 416. So let's go to the leaderboard and see what that tie at first place is looking like. All right, everybody, Greg Poole here at Bowjunky Media, bowjunkymedia.com. This is the Pro Hunter Shoot-Off in the first leg of the IBO Triple Crown here in Pipestem, West Virginia. I'm joined by PSE Pro staffer Jack Wallace. And coming into this last one, we got Jonathan Smith and Timothy McWilliams pretty much shooting for the win.
That was an 8. Okay, that was a 5. They're tied. She's got the board.
So here we go. Brian's going over to the board right now. There might be a little scoring discrepancy on the IBO board, but once again, folks, this is the first time the IBO's taking on this venture. So you know, obviously we're going to work some of the bugs out as we go along, but it's great to see the IBO, you know, making the changes needed, including the speed limit and some others.
Well, one good thing here, there is no strategy for any of the classes in this. You're going to aim at the center and shoot at the center. So there's at no point in time are you not going to be trying to aim dead center of the 11 to shoot inside out. So even if they should happen to slip up on the board just for view for everybody that's here in person, everybody's still aiming at the middle and shooting at the middle. So that's
absolutely good. Tim Gillingham was just down here behind us, and he said, looks like we're still going to be tied. So first Pro Hunter shoot-off in the IBO, and we're going to a 6 closest to center arrow. And that's always what we like to see.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Who was that first one with a 10? Who's that guy on the end there? McWilliams with a 10. It's going to be a 437. Justin Ertl with an 11. Pretty much this wolf down here on the end is going to tell the tale. See what we got on the Wolverine, and that is a small target. Dake with a 10 on the Wolverine. So depending on what what John gets here, Chris Dake might have just moved himself potentially onto the podium. 8. No. Saline's going to have a 429, so he's going to edge out Dake for potentially that last spot.
And that's pretty amazing. He started with a 5.
Right.
Started
Exactly.
with a 5 on the Wolf.
Jonathan Smith with a 10. So indeed, we do have a tie with Jonathan Smith and Timothy McWilliams, and we will be going to a 6th arrow closest to center. Let's go to the Bowjunky leaderboard and check it out. Hi, everybody. Greg Poole here at Bowjunky Media, bowjunkymedia.com. We're here with Timothy McWilliams, the first Pro Hunter winner at the IBO Triple Crown's new shoot-off format. That had to feel pretty good.
Felt very good. Practiced a little bit and just came in here with a hope, really. So, yep.
All right, so tell us how it felt. I mean, you've been shooting this, but to come in here and realize that making it into the top 5 after 2 days, you're going to be shooting in front of all the pros on Bowjunky Media, in front of the people watching. What sort of nerves did that add, for you during all of those shots?
It definitely adds a lot of nerves. You got all the best of the best here. Bowjunky Media, just everything. You get the jitters, but after you get rolling, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, all those nerves don't have anything to do with what's on the scoreboard, right?
Exactly, yes.
All right, well, congratulations, man. We look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you very much.
All right.